All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us again tonight as we continue on this 2026 Montana Armbender series. Tonight's match is between Nathan Johnson and Miles Hutton. And now this is going to be a left-handed best-of-5 match. It was a little bit different than some of our other conversations we've had. And I do want to say that this match has been awesomely sponsored by Deconstruction. They were ecstatic to have this match. They love both of these competitors. Big shout out to them. If you're in Great Falls and you have any construction needs, definitely reach out to them. So starting with you, Nathan, if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, where you are arm wrestling out of, and how long you've been pulling, and why you wanted to take this match and what was interesting about it to you.
I'm Tuttle, North Dakota. No one knows where Tuttle is. A little don't blink or you miss a town. I practice with the boys from Bismarck. I guess we call ourselves quietly the legend pullers. Like Clifton Erickson and Ian Johnson and a bunch of other guys. We got a little team growing now.
Small but mighty team for sure.
Well, yeah, I feel like we've put a little dent out there in the U.S. People know who some of us are.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, as far as taking this match, I don't know. That was kind of one of them, like, I don't want to take it because I don't want to pull Miles because I like the guy. Like, I'm kind of like almost a fan of his, how much he's did in 2 years or whatever, he's been pulling.
Come on,
But at the same time, it's like, it's very true. Both of us are both undefeated there. And I have respect for Miles, and he just beat Jordan Seals. So, like, well, if I can beat Miles yet, well, that makes me look pretty good. So,
absolutely. Yeah, and same question over to you, Miles.
Miles Hutton. I compete. I train with the Medicine Hat Badlands team out of Medicine Hat, Alberta, and I pull. Well, I reside in between Saskatchewan and Montana. Majority in Montana, and then partly in Saskatchewan as well. So then that allows me to travel back and forth.
You're American, damn it.
I am American, born and raised, all that. Don't get none of that wrong. No, I am. There's a lot of arm wrestling up there, and I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't go up there.
Absolutely.
And continue to. I've been competing for just under 2 years. It'll be 2 years, January 20th. So.
And what about this match? Like, did you like when it was offered to you? Why did you want to take it?
Well, so I like Nathan, and I like Josh and the Armbender and everything. And I was invited back, and it was it's like, okay, so my right was out for a while, and had a commission, and then it was starting to come back, and they offered me Nathan. I was like, okay, all right. And then I found out his right was out, and I was like, oh darn, all right, so left it is. Okay, that works. It's like, well, I know he's a very worthy opponent, and he's got a win on me, and from Montana State last year, and doggone it, but doggone that Clifton. I swear, had to tire me out before he didn't even get me fresh. I blame him. But
Yeah.
no, so it's been a match that I've taken serious, and I'm looking forward to what happens, and what well, in February anyway. We'll let her all be known and leave it all on the table. So
that's
yeah,
right.
especially because
no questions left.
There's always that question, when you meet up at tournaments, it's like, oh well, how would it have gone if like we were both fresh and we were, because also as the tournament goes on, you kind of lose a little bit of that mental sharpness, or at least I kind of do, where I feel like, as I go on, maybe my setups don't get quite as tight or quite as, snappy as I want them to be. And so like, there's always that question of like, man, like I just really want to go against this guy fresh on fresh and just see what happens. So that's why we do what we do here. And normally I wait till the end to kind of give my prediction on how I think this match was going to go. But this time around, I wanted to start up front so that way we can kind of just have fun with it a little bit and go back and forth. And I think it'd be kind of interesting. So along those lines, I guess my thought process, especially when I first heard of this matchup, was, my head just went to the right arm immediately because that's what I would assume it would be. And that's like really exciting.
Yeah.
Because, I've never had an easy day with either of your right arms. Never had success with either of your right arms. I know how powerful your guys' right arms are. And, it's, man, just definitely inspiring. One of those things, Clifton too from your group, Nathan. So when I heard the match was left-handed, I definitely felt like, Nathan, that you were taking on a very tall order here. Not to say that, your left hand is bad. I think you had like a good showing at Montana State's,
This year was okay. It was the previous year you beat me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
year
And
didn't show up, so I don't know. And that's
yeah, but
why I'm not excited. It'd be one reason I'm not excited about taking it, but for some unknown reason now here in the last, well, basically it started around Montana State that has started doing better, and now it's like it doesn't even make sense to me what it's doing. So it's always been
yeah,
20 pounds behind on lifts, and now of my right hand, now it's 20 pounds ahead, if not more.
sometimes that's the way it goes. Like when you like they'll kind of flop back and forth, especially when there's like injuries and stuff involved, and what you can do and how much effort you can put into it because you still just want to arm wrestle. But my question is, I guess where my main thought process with how I'm going to, or like how I would think and really be able to put something as accurately as I possibly can to it would be, has your left-handed style changed at all, Nathan, or do you feel like it's kind of a carbon copy of your right hand still?
It's never been what my right hand is. I mean, it tends to fall into a hook, but it can top roll. Both areas of it have gotten way better, like I said, in the last 6 months. I think partially was due, well, it'd be over a year ago, just over a year ago now. I went to Washington State and pulled Bogdan Ska, and he tore something in the shoulder, and it
Yeah.
wasn't happy. I pulled at the arm bender last year. I thought it was good. The first pull, it come apart again, and then I just powered through it and got the win. But after that, the next month, I couldn't do anything with it. So
Right.
then something healed, and in the process of healing or always throbbing, because I mean it just throbbed for months. I always used it at practice. I never let it set, but I quit all training because I couldn't handle that. But at practice, I would just use it until I couldn't anymore, and then it's quite a bit better. Let's put it that way.
Right. But it's still not where you would want it to be, for sure.
It's above what I think it should be, in my opinion, to be 20
Are you
pounds.
talking left, or you're talking about your left arm now?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were still talking about your right arm with
No.
your shoulder. Okay.
No, that was my left.
Okay. Gotcha.
So that was all.
Oh,
left.
your left you pulled Bogdan with.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, sometimes those injuries can be a little bit of a blessing. Yeah, sometimes you just get stronger from them. Like arm wrestling's a weird sport. I was just talking on Through the Fingers last night about that, and a couple people in the region have all kind of had injuries recently, and it seems like you come back from it, and all of a sudden it's like, what? I'm stronger. How is this happening? And I'm kind of experiencing that too, and so. That is definitely exciting to hear. And one thing that, people, especially who are familiar with the arm bender, will know, this is Nathan's first left-handed match at the arm bender, I believe.
No.
No, you pulled
No,
Petley,
no.
right? You pulled Petley.
Yep.
Left-handed.
Yep.
Yeah. But you've never, on either arm, you've never lost a single round at the arm bender. So far you have a perfect record at the arm bender, which is, pretty insane, especially since you've competed, 3 times already. So that's 9 rounds and all against solid opponents, but your wins were very dominant, I would say, especially Dustin Finley, who I believe outweighed you by about 60 pounds.
I don't know.
It might have been, I believe if I remember whatever was on the tail of the tape on the screen, I think it might've been 60 pounds.
Because I know they had me down heavier, and I was a big difference, but I was like 225 instead of 30, whatever he had me down at.
That's okay. That's probably what it was. Yeah, because I think. But either way, yeah, that was still
It really doesn't matter how much the weight difference is. I mean, usually it comes down to a frame deal. I feel like if they're that.
It does, but I think that win especially was, pretty awesome because Dustin was just coming off that win of Len and Houghton, and, Miles, he's someone that very well. And, so that was a super impressive win right there. And then Miles on his end, he's coming off of beating Dakota Shipton right-armed earlier this year at the arm bender. And then recently beating Jordan Sill left-handed in a super match, and kind of like we were talking about earlier. I mean, that if you're coming into this match as an underdog and you are able to, pull off the win, that looks pretty freaking awesome because Jordan Sill is super well respected on both arms. And Miles, you seem to also have quite an even showings. Like sometimes your left arm does a little bit better. Sometimes your right arm does a little bit better. So it's not necessarily, I would say at this point, it's not clear which is your better arm. You know, it just matters what time or what time of year it is or what's going on injury wise.
Yeah.
But how are you feeling coming into this match with your left arm and the way the preparation's been going? Feeling very good, still very confident.
Yeah, we're still feeling confident. Like you said, I'm coming off some pretty good wins, and training is going really good. We're about to kick it up a notch for this next month, and then we'll taper her back down. But my left there for a while when I first started, it was like in the famous words of Matt Mask, you know, it's like my retarded stepbrother. Sometimes the son bitch shows up, sometimes he don't, you know. And there for a while, it's like the retarded little brother. That's what it was. There we go. It was. I wanted to pull. What was it? When my right was injured for a little bit, and my radio was out of place last year. I wanted to pull left first, so then that way maybe my right would see what was supposed to happen. It's like, hey, we're in a match. You need to wake up. Let's go. Because there for a while, my right started slowing down and my left was getting faster. And so then it was, okay, so then I wanted my left arms all going first, so then this one would catch up. No, it's, all right, fine, let's run the right first, and then let's go with the left, because I just got used to it always being there. And some of it was, I don't know how to describe it, because like it with my right arm, it was like there was a thought process and signals from my head to down. And this thing, it does whatever the hell it wants to. I find out what it's going to do after it's already gone. So it's like, well, what are you going to do to him? I said, I really don't know. I said, I guess we'll find out after the go. And then it's like, holy shit, you did a king's move. Why'd you do a king's move? I said, I didn't want to do a king's move, but apparently it thought that's the way to go. Or a hook or a press or whatever the hell. It just was hard to figure out what it was going to do. And now it's gotten a little bit more manageable, but it still has some speed to it. So
yeah, and actually, one of the cool things about I think this matchup is what a lot of people have to worry about with Miles, and you probably agree with this, Nathan, is his hand. You know, but you know, and maybe he has a much bigger hand than you, but you're known for not really losing your hand. You know, you know, a lot of people say, you know, I just did everything I could to take Nathan's wrist, and I just couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. So I'm wanting to know, Miles, are you going to take his wrist? Are you going to be that guy who's the one to actually get it?
I see where spiciness is coming in now.
there it comes. Okay. Well, I feel I probably could do that. I don't know. Well, guess we'll find out in February whether or not it happens. So
Yeah, no, I just think it makes it.
Yeah.
I think it makes it really cool because not a lot of people have shown that they can shut down your hand, especially someone that's like in the same size range as you, you know, in the same weight class. So if Nathan's able to shut down your hand, and especially, and I know you said, Nathan, that your left hand's different and, you know, you have that top roll there. But, you know, what I always have to see is your most dangerous weapon is, you know, when you get that shoulder really forward committed, you get sideways, because once you're in that position, for one, almost no one really can lose their hand in that position, you know, and two, you're just so good at like keeping it really tight and locked in. I can't think of a time either, unless it was against someone, you know, that with like a big name in the sport who was able to actually pull you out of that position. So, man, I just think it's like, but Miles is also known for being versatile. So, like hook on hook, do you feel like you're still like the stronger man in that position? If you sink it in and you get to your spot that you're known for, are you the stronger person there and you're just going to rip through?
That's the $1 million question, ain't it? I probably wouldn't have taken it if I didn't think I could. So, yes.
Good.
Like the way you worded that.
Very, very good, very respectful. But I totally understand.
No.
You know, no one in this group or in this region ever shows up just to show up. We all come in to win for sure. And, but that's why, like I said, you know, I feel like I have to give Miles the edge just with that Jordan Sill win, you know, because compared to your left-handed wins, I just have to give him the edge. But again, I know your training camp and I know how serious the team is and how fast you guys can come up and get stronger. So I don't, you know, by any means want to count that out. And I know you definitely want to fucking win. Like there's no question about that. Perfect record at the Armbender. Don't want to lose that. And I do also think so. It hasn't been announced yet for sure, but one thing that I know, and I'm trying to get Josh 100% on board with, is doing the challenge flags for all the matches. And I think, and you know, and I want to get your guys' opinion. Do you like having that challenge flag aspect of the match where you get your challenge, and if you throw it, you know, if your challenge wins, you get the flag back, but if you lose, then you lose your flag? Because it can be used tactically, you know, it can be used as intended for something that they think the refs miss, but I think it can also be used very tactically. So what are your guys' thoughts? I'll start with you, Nathan, on the challenge flags being at the armband.
Personally, I don't see it
That was
necessary,
awesome.
especially for me. It's if I elbow fell, it's usually pretty noticeable, or it was intentional, professional, you know. So to me, it really doesn't matter. I don't think it's necessary. That's my 2 cents. It just kind of drags it out,
Mhm.
and no one really. I mean, everyone there in the match, they want it to be a long match if you're not winning per se. But
Mhm.
as far as sitting there watching the tournament, yeah, the quicker it can get done with, almost, you know, sometimes the better.
Sometimes for sure.
As a spectator, anyways, you know, I don't want to sit there and watch them dink around about, well, was this call right or not for 15 minutes when you've been there for 8 hours already or something, you know.
But one thing that you know very well is the Montana Armbender rule set, and we know that the matches are going to be very fast. The setups are going to happen quickly, and they're going to be, you know, very action based too. And I think that I'm positive Clifton's going to be in your corner. So
Right.
having a good corner person like that, you know, and having someone who can see what's going on, something that you're probably maybe not, because you're just so focused on the match, you know, and he throws out that flag for you, you know, and so that, I don't know. I just
That
think
that
I think it's a really cool concept.
that aspect of it, yeah, he could see something that I don't, not being on the table. But
Yeah. And I just think it makes it cool because it, like, your corner matters too, you know,
yep.
and it just makes it a little bit more involved, and we get extra layers into the sport because, you know, that's what I think arm wrestling right now is trying to find, you know, like an identity outside of the very strict traditional UAF style arm wrestling, you know, that's we all come up and we love and we've been a part of, but in terms of taking arm wrestling more mainstream, it just hasn't. So we're all trying to find these like things that can add those layers that get people a little bit more invested and a little bit more involved. So I think it's a really cool idea. It looks like we lost Miles here. Hopefully he comes back in a second.
Yeah, I don't know. I can go either way with it. It's not a necessity, or I mean,
Mhm.
like, and someone in the corner, yeah. If they catch something like that, yeah, I could see that. It's, and you know, if I was polling for, you know, an actual ranking, then maybe it would matter more to me. You know,
Mhm.
I'm just get up there, do my job, try to get the win.
Well, you actually are pulling for ranking the 220 in the North American because of that Jordan Sill win that brought Miles up into sixth place, I believe.
What ranking system is that under?
I think the in the hook rankings.
I looked on Arm Fighter and I didn't see it the other day.
Yeah, I think it's the in the hook. I don't think Arm Fighter's updated on it yet, but yeah, we can ask him. He's coming back in right now. All right, Miles. So we were just kind of talking about the rankings here. With you getting that win on Jordan Sill left-handed, that technically moves you up into sixth left 220, correct?
Well, it would have, I was told later, if we had agreed to the 220 cap. But
Oh,
because
okay.
we hadn't, and they picked 225, and I didn't know any different, I did not get the rank.
I believe, like I was just talking to Nathan about this. I believe In the Hook still updated your name on there because of the
What's that?
tournament. I think In the Hook rankings has your name up there above him now. We can double check here in a little bit, but I think they did update it the 220-pound class because probably because he pulled 220 in the tournament, so it was on the tournament. What do you call it? The ladder brackets when they submitted it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but either way, like in my opinion, I think that would, you know, that would count as like this would be for a pretty high rank in North America.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. And that was part of it. It was, you can hear me all right, can't you?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. No, part of it, it was like, all right, well, they couldn't find the match for Jordan. And, it was, I guess, Robert Bear reached out to Dion, was talking to him about something. And pretty soon it was like, wait, he goes, and Robert asked Dion how to get a hold of me. Cause I went off Facebook and all social media. And Dion's like, why do you need to get a hold of him? He goes, well, cause I think I got a match for him. Like, can I tell him? what is it? Who is it? And he tells him Sil, and he's like, "Oh, all right, I'll give him a call." So Dion was absolutely plumb excited. He calls, he blows up my phone, and it's like, "What the hell is going on?" He's like, "You gotta call Robert Bear right now." I said, "I don't have his cell phone number. Would you calm down?" He's like, "You gotta call him." I said, "Get his number." "Okay, I'll get you his number." So he gets me the number. All right, I call Robert. It's like, "What's going on, buddy?" He's like, "Oh yeah, not much." He said, "Got a question." I said, "What's that?" And he says, "You want a match?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Against who? Where?" He's like, "Well, here in Idaho." And I said, "Oh yeah, all right." And it's like August. And I was like, "August what?" Because I had nationals July 4th and 5th. And I went, "Okay." I said, "Who is it?" And he goes, "Brother, this is a tall order for you." He said, "I believe you can do it." And I said, "All right, well, tell me who it is." He's like, "Jordan Sill." And I went, "Really?" He goes, "What do you think?" I said, "It's yes, but let me just reach out to Eugene and double check and see what the coach says, because I'm got to find out." It's like, okay. So get off the phone with him, get a hold of Eugene. Eugene's like, "Well, it's in time for nationals." He said, "You got to focus on nationals." I said, "Well," I said, "it's a month after nationals. He goes, and it is good time for fight." And I went, "All right." Next call was
He's
back
so
to Robert,
serious.
and I said, "I'm in." He goes, "Yep, perfect." And then we did everything else, and yeah, and I showed up, and everyone was kind of looking, and the night before, and they're all like, "Who the hell are you here to pull?" And everyone's like, and Robert and a couple others, he's pulling Jordan. Well, they thought, little Jordan that pulled Sluggett, um, Spadell. And they're like,
Fidel,
"Oh,
yeah.
okay." And then it's like, "No, he's pulling Sill." "Oh, good luck, dude." It's like, "Thank you. Appreciate it." And then I pulled around with Alan Fisher and a couple others later that night. And it's like, okay, kid might have something. All right. Next day, Jordan shows up. It's like, "Hey, Jordan." He's like, "How's it going?" He doesn't remember me from the armbender. I'm a little hurt. All right. He probably sees a lot of people. No problem. So then everyone was all sitting there and they were making bets and figuring things out. I was like, "Oh, I'm going to get crushed." And then first round, it was like, everyone was like, "Shit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
remember
then
watching that.
my adrenaline was through the roof, and he caught him by surprise. And then he savvied up really quick and things changed
Yeah.
really fast.
I remember
And
watching that
then,
live stream and seeing the look on your face kind of change when you were kind of gripping up and you were like realizing, okay, I'm in this. I got this. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was like, okay. And then, the biggest downfall that I had going into it was dropping 600 pounds of steel on this flipping finger,
Mm.
because it split it open all the way from here to here. And so in country boy fashion, we just shot some lidocaine down in her and took some bare aspirin and wrapped her up, told her a day, and that flip.
No super glue.
Well, I tried to super glue it. It didn't hold. And that one flip, Jordan, he got a hold of it pretty good and ripped it. And then it was
Mm.
blood on the table. I was like, "Damn." And I just kind of looked like, "Ooh, well, I can feel that. Oh, we'll try." And it's like, "Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yep, that's about what it's going to be." And then the hand started to give out. And it's like, well, I guess all we got
Just
left
say
is the
you're
arm.
imitating Matt Mask with his fingers.
Yeah. Right. I can't even do it. Like
Yeah.
that's about all I got. So yeah, but it was
No, that
it was a
was
hell of a deal. And Jordan, I was grateful that he took the match, and it was awesome to get that win on him. And I know very good and well we'll run it back because he wants to. So
yeah, absolutely. Like I think that's a really impressive, match, and you've kind of just been known for having a fast, explosive, up and coming career. And Nathan, you're kind of like known for like you're just a very steady every year you get better and better and better and you have better showings. What do you think coming into this match? Like if you had to say versus prior years of pulling, like what do you have now that you think gives you the edge coming into this and that you think is going to pull you through?
Oh boy. I mean, I should have experience. I mean, I've
Yeah.
been pulling 6 years versus his 2, but again, it's my left. Granted, it's gotten stronger and
Yeah, I
a
believe
little
that. I've heard a lot
versatile,
of good things.
but yeah, I would just say experience being able to adapt and
Hmm.
I mean, I do have one good corner man, Clifton, that sees a lot of stuff and can make
Yes.
adjustments just from watching with me.
I thought he was going to be in my corner this time.
Yeah.
Everyone's Clifton's friends, but
Then
I'm
again,
pretty
he
sure
may
he's
not
gonna
be
pick
in
his
anybody's
teammates.
corner. He might, he might. But then again,
Yeah.
he might be too focused on his match
He's
because
gonna
he
be in
don't
the
have
corner
much time
warming up.
between him.
Well, that's part of it. He should be focused on his, but also he also gets very much in his head, so it's maybe a good thing that he's in everybody's corner until go time.
Oh,
I've
that's
already done
true.
his interview. It's not released yet. It can't be released for a little while just due to some technical things we're working out. But he did say
Oh.
he was gonna. I think he said he was gonna be in 6 different people's corner.
Yeah.
So 6
Oh.
different matches. So he's gonna have a very busy night for sure.
Right.
And I do want to get into some fun questions about the armbender itself. The first
Okay.
one, we'll start with you, Miles. What's your favorite match on the card?
Well, outside of hours, I would say shit. I have a few. I don't think I can just pick one.
Pick 2 then.
Well, that
Pick
narrows
2.
it down a little bit.
Talk about one.
Well, so I want to see Clifton and Jordan on the right.
All right, so that's your favorite match because you said it first.
It's not the favorite match. No, I don't know a favorite, to be honest. I mean, it's tough because you've got Dakota pulling Brian, and I'm vested in that one, and because I like them both. And then you've got Cliff and Jordan, and then you've got Logan and Jordan. You've got Dan and Ian could be a hell of a good one.
I think that's gonna be
Could be
good.
interesting. Yes. So there is that one. Yeah, I don't know. Can I do like a top 7 for God's sakes? It might be a favorite shit.
I mean,
don't
the
know.
armbender is just great. So no, but I think those are all
There's
worthy
quite a
matches.
few good ones. Yeah.
That brings me to a good point though, because actually I want to. So Nathan, what's your favorite match?
It is tough. I mean, I have the personal interest in a couple of them, because it's my training.
Right.
So yeah, I could say them, Ian and Clifton, but that Logan and Jordan, I do think. I mean, Logan's just one of them guys too. That stupid, just crazy. But I think the Ian and Dan one, I don't think it's gonna be a war. I think Ian's gonna smoke him.
Oh, you think it's gonna be just smoked?
That's Ian's pretty much creamed him every time. I mean, they went back and forth, but
recently, yeah.
Yeah, and I know where Ian's at. Just my opinion. I could be completely wrong, but
I just feel like Dan is one of those guys where if you can't beat him fast, you're in for a hell of a time. Like he's just
agree.
one of those.
Yeah.
So
personally,
and that's what we're all hoping for.
Up me than Ian, just because of how we pull, and I get hooked with Dan, and if he gets sunk on his side of the table, it's
hard. Yeah.
Freaking wedge. But Ian has such hand control. I mean, we were just going over it that I can't see it being a problem. So
yeah,
I would say, aside from take the personal interest out of my teammates, probably Logan and Jordan.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually cool that you guys say it because so I've asked everyone. By far, the most popular match everyone else that I've interviewed so far has brought up is Clifton, his match with Jordan, and after that it has been Dan and Ian. But what I think is curious is like there's some really big names on this card, like Cody Wood and Alex Group, and then of course Sandra Settis and Adam Warzinski, a Warzone. I always say his last name wrong, but so like we have these big names, but like the armbender has been such its own thing and created like this like niche kind of microcosm in our area that we're almost not even, we're like, okay, yeah, it's cool that those guys are coming. Those are like, what do you call them, exhibition matches, but we just care about our region and our matches, and I think that's really cool.
Well, we all know them, these Sandras and all them. I mean, yeah, he was there last year, but there's a bit of a barrier with people, from different country or whatever. And it's, you just can't get as personal with them. That's, I mean, why we like Logan. He's a very personable, fun guy. And same thing with Miles. Just sit and listen to Miles talk is just a hoot and a half. So, and that's, I mean, anybody that we're close to around here, and I think that's why everybody loves the armbender, is that we know everybody that's just about there. And that's we all have our favorite, or our people, our boys.
And because the Logan and Jordan match is your favorite, because obviously if we ask you about your teammates, you want to call your teammates like you did with Ian, but with the Logan and Jordan match, how do you guys see that one going? What's your prediction right now?
I have no clue. That's why I want to see it.
I personally have I think Logan's going to pull it off. I think he's going to do it. I think he's got the raw power, and I think he learned a lot from the Chuck match. You know, he's talked to a lot of people to learn what he needs to do in the setup, and I think he got a lot of setup experience from Chuck because he's like the hardest person to set up against. And I think that's exactly what he needed coming in because he has enough power to beat anybody. So I think Logan's going to pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, I've hardly ever pulled with the guy, so I don't know. I can't even remember if I gripped up with him after pulling last year. I've seen him when he performs. It's like, geez, he shouldn't be holding that guy or shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
What's your thought,
power,
Miles, on that? Have you pulled Logan recently?
Yeah. It's been, what was the last time? Couple months anyway, but it was before the Chuck match. And then he was feeling solid and we worked on some things together and I kind of told him roughly what he should be expecting and kind of worked with him a little bit on that. And we still are, I believe, planning to get together after Christmas for one more session. I think, I don't know, possibly going to try and get him up north and we'll go visit Eugene and I'll introduce him to a level and a whole different ball game of training. But I think he would definitely benefit a lot from it.
Yes.
I don't because of the experience and who he is. I don't see it being like a landslide or a sweep. Just because Jordan is who Jordan is.
Right.
If like he comes in like I know he probably is, I would imagine a pretty solid war. Like Jordan stops Logan, or if Logan can't stop Jordan, give him the initial hit or anything, or Jordan dragging him back out to his side, is that's deep water, and it's a bitch to get out of. Believe me, I know. So Logan does have the arm power and just the sheer horsepower to hold and to kind of fight through, but it's a bitch to try and fight out when you're barely treading water.
The things that I see there, and I'm curious if you agree or not, though, just because you have experience pulling them, is that one, I think Chuck's hit is more violent than Jordan's, and Logan was stopping that, and he was stopping it from, I don't think Logan's gonna, I think he's gonna have much better starting positions at the arm bender than he did against Chuck. I don't think he's gonna, lose the start so bad. So I think that'll be a big confidence booster, because I think if he does, I don't think he's gonna win center table with Jordan, because Jordan typically wins there. But I do think that like once he does get a hold and if he gets that stop and he doesn't get plowed through, then I think he'll feel very confident and I think he'll feel very comfortable. Especially what I've noticed is the biggest thing is it used to be before where you'd go to put your elbow down with him and he grabs onto you, and he's holding on to you and he just kind of let you just grip however you wanted. He didn't really fight for anything. And now I feel like he's really good about, using his big hand and wrist to like get back into you. And he knows, I want to get the other guy to hold on to me. I want to feel his fingers.
Right. Yeah,
so I see that as another big boon to Logan's chances now.
For sure.
Again, I think, Jordan does have a very strong hand and he's known to be hand dominant. But again, Logan's just a tree,
Yeah.
Like, that's just tough to deal with, especially if you've never felt it before. It's like,
gonna have to do this interview all over again.
I don't think they got the wrist. I hope they do the wrist measurements this year, because I feel like he must have like at least a 9.5 inch wrist. Like it's
from his elbow up is just freakishly.
Yeah. It's insane. And it just like your hand is literally, it's like one of those like oversized fat grips, where your hand is holding on like that. You're just like, what do I do with this thing? So as a fellow inside puller, I'm always just like, man, this isn't going to be great. Like, I have to get all the way around this thing.
Yeah, bone, baby.
Oh yeah. Just get that wrist on there and just,
if you can set that, it doesn't matter about the hand.
Exactly. I know. I wish I knew that sooner. It took me forever I was so afraid to drop my hand forever. I was like, everyone says high knuckle, just get the high knuckle. But then as soon as I was just like, you know what, it feels more comfortable down here. Let me just wait. Now my wrist is on his, and I can just pull through my wrist. Oh, this is great.
Yeah, in the beginning, yeah. Hi, hi, hi. Well, I get the point now, but yeah, no, that wasn't very good for me either because that just ended up with me losing my hand.
Yeah, yeah. We're not all born with those free cans. That's for
No,
sure.
no, as good as mine are, they're not nothing like Logan's
Yes, size wise, but like I said,
or
everyone universally says like your containment, your like finger and like this strength is really, really good. Um, and I'm curious, like, do you have like anything specific that you do for that, or is that just something you've always kind of been strong in?
No, I had no hand in the beginning. That's honestly, Ian would take my hand every practice. He was my very first tournament pull. I beat him. I just went high, like Devin Laird's video said, and went sideways, and I popped my elbow, and I was done for a long time. And then I started going to practice, and yeah, he would take my hand. Everybody would take my hand, and then that's something I've worked on religiously. So yeah, it started with a wrist wrench, and now I got, you know, 6 different handles that do the same thing, just a little different. So, and then, yeah, now just depending what the arm's feeling, but for like, since the flyer come out now, it's every day I'm doing something.
Oh yeah.
Prep for Miles here, because let's face it, he's got a big hand and it's going to be an issue. No question about it. If he hadn't got the win on Jordan, then I probably would be like, oh yeah, he's maybe still up and coming, but it's like, oh, he got that. Yeah, I got my hands full now.
But one of the advantages in your court is that not only does Miles have a big hand, he has a long forearm, so he's going to be coming down pretty far to you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like one of the advantages we do get as a smaller lever puller is that they have to come down a little bit further. It takes some of the rise out of the game that we don't have to worry about. And then like we were just talking about too, it lets us get more wrist on wrist. I feel like so if we get that nice little hit at the go, then knock them out of their shoulder. So there's definitely some advantages to be had there. And yeah,
It,
but
it
I'm
just
really
depends
curious about your
what
containment with Miles.
it will be interesting. It's been so long now since I gripped up with his hand. I just remember it being large when I did. So
Mhm.
yeah, it will be interesting. I personally think it will have to be bone on bone for me to do it. If it becomes a hand battle, it's just a lot of hand to deal with.
Yeah,
But we
it
can.
is a lot.
I don't know. Like I said, I have a little more table IQ. I feel like I should. And sometimes I can help you squeak the wind out, and sometimes it's just the power gap or whatever is just too much. So
Yeah, and I don't have all the same info on your left as your right, but with your right arm, you're always very successful though into getting into your spot. And then like when we both went to that Super 64 event, there was some bigger frame, bigger guys there, and you were able to get them where you wanted them. And I believe you got sixth at the Super 64,
I think it was
or eighth.
me and Isaac Russell got in that war
Yep.
and worked each other out, and then I think it was just the way the bracket was that I was the first one to fall out because he ended up with 8th or 6th over me, but we both lost when we went into the top 8. So it was something like that, or I don't know how it happened, but yeah, we didn't get into that war. We both could have placed a lot higher, I think. But yeah, that was honestly, yeah, one of my better showings. I feel like, far as hand and total package. There's a lot of guys that told me like, yeah, you did everything right against me. So
Yeah, it was really fun to watch. It was a great showing, and yeah, that Isaac. Yeah, I forgot about Isaac Russell. That was tough, and he's a hell of a puller too, even up at his weight class.
yeah, he's
So
he's an animal too. That's come a long ways in the last couple of years.
yeah, for sure. And now that we have Miles back too, another question I wanted to ask you guys was, what is a forward-looking match that you want that hasn't happened yet at the Armbender that you want to happen? And we'll start with Miles in case he pops out again.
For us, or just one that we want to see at the Armbender?
Just one that you want to see at the Armbender.
Okay. I think it'd be pretty cool to see someone like Giannis or Justin Bishop. Let's see. And I'm trying to think here who we could. There's quite a few pullers I think would be nice to see for a match. I had one on the tip of my tongue. You can come back to me. Let me think for a minute.
Nathan, do you have one that you're really hoping to see at some point?
You know, if you didn't put me on the spot any other time, I probably could tell you something. But now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, it's like, well, yeah, I'd like to see different people, like Miles was saying, but who would I put them up against? You know,
Right.
that's the tough question. You know, yeah, I'm not
Mm.
really sure. I mean, if my right was back in healthy form, then I'd be picking a few out, but it's not even close to being there.
Yeah, actually, one match that I do want to see. Actually, the reason I bring up this question is because it's with one of you guys. You, Nathan, against Declan, right armed. I would like to see that match. I'd definitely like to see that match.
That could happen.
With who? Say that again.
Nathan and Declan, right armed.
Nathan and Declan. Okay.
Declan just has such freakish strength, and I want to see him go against not a top roller, but someone who's going to go inside with him and just see if that's like the real deal power. You know what I mean? And he's not just like a practice puller king.
Well, I can tell you this much. I mean, it was after pulling after Montana State, but it come down to the go, and my right wasn't in good shape, or it's not healthy. Let's put
That's
it
what
that.
I'm.
But inside, no, he didn't stand a chance. Outside's where he got that rocked back, bent wrist. That posed a little bit of an issue, but
See, that's
that's
another thing that's freakish about him is like 99% of the time he likes that high hook, but then he'll never do anything else. But then, like with a Dakota match, like he never pressed before in his entire life, never once, never a single time, and he was pressing for 3 rounds, and and again, like sometimes you force him there, then all of a sudden he has a top roll, and it's just like where like he's just like one of those people where you're like you wish he would come to practice more and you wish he would compete more because he just seems to be strong in places he shouldn't be for coming to practice once every 2 to 3 months. And yeah, that would just be, I don't know, I just think it would be cool. I think it would be a cool match, especially in a super match format.
yeah. I was gonna say for sure. I'm sure I'll see him at Montana State again, and hopefully
Yeah.
the stinking right hand is back to normal and I take back my title. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be challenging on the right arm pretty soon, but I think that left hand title's mine no matter who shows up.
We'll see about that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's coming up. Coming up. I'll probably see one of you at Miles City.
possibility.
You will see me.
Oh, that's right. Don't you have a match there?
I have a match, yeah.
What's his name again?
Julian Smith.
I think he was the one that was in North Dakota not that long ago. And one of our younger partners met him at the bar, and when he was saying that he could beat everybody and willing to put $1,000 on the line and stuff.
Well, he got a big win recently.
I remember hearing a story of that.
Yeah.
What was the big win he got recently? Was the whole reason he wanted a super match? Jordan Sill?
Yeah, he beat Jordan on the left about a month or two after me.
Oh, really?
I think down at Bob Brown's.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
There in that Utah Expo.
Yeah, that's right.
I forget the damn name of it, but him and Jordan did a super match left and right, and Jordan got him on the right, Julian got him on the left, and then it was Tom reached into a group chat and was looking for a 215 to a 220 puller, and a couple names were there, and they sat and they looked it up and they couldn't quite find that much information. And the next thing I know, my name was floating out and about into cyberspace. And it's like, oh, well, I guess whatever. I'll reach out. So then I reached out, and then once again, it was okay. Well, let me just a minute, Tom, give me about 5 minutes. And I made 2 haulers, and it's like, all right, good time for a fight. Okie dokie, boss. Here we go.
Actually, I think Miles, like you're probably one of our best people to put blind against somebody. Like when we don't really know a lot about someone, just because you have that stupid big hand of yours. It's like,
right. Well, the thing is, like, my spring is.
Yep, we're here.
Anyway, my spring's looking fairly busy because we've got what the hell? We've got the arm bender in February. Mm-hmm. I was invited to one event in January, but that is the second year I have to decline because the arm bender's too doggone close, and I want to be good and fresh for Nathan. I want him to have it all. No questions, answers or but. And then you've got April, but in March I qualified for the Arnold's in Ohio. So there's I believe I'm probably going to go there and pull, see how everything pans out coming up with the weather and funds and all that good fun stuff. And then April, you've got Miles City, and then it just keeps piling up from there. And pretty soon you got a packed year again. But I guess way she goes sometimes. So,
Nathan, do you
and
have
then
anything between now and the Armbender?
Nothing's planned. I don't know. Since my right isn't up to par like it should be, I just haven't been into traveling. I mean, previous years I was hitting 1 month, and I haven't hit one since August or September, maybe. So it's just been sitting at home working and training.
That can be a really good thing, because I do think that tournaments do obviously give you a lot of experience, because you get to feel different hands and get all that. Sometimes what you need to do is just get a lot stronger, and nothing is better than that than just putting a lot of time into training. So I'm definitely excited to see where your left is right now, just because, again, I only know what I know from the past, but everyone that I've talked to or has had anything to say, again, I don't know if you watched any of the previous episodes, but a lot of people are saying really, really good things about your left hand and how it's feeling right now. So I think, just like every other on-bender match, we're in for a hell of a thing here. But before we finish off for the night, I just wanted to have you guys put out any closing statements you want to your opponent, to any of, people back home, or just in general. We'll start with you, Nathan.
Like shout outs you're talking?
Shout outs, and just any closing statements you want to make to Miles before you pull here in February.
Well, I don't know. Better be ready. Don't be sleeping.
I got,
And you, Miles?
it's going to be fun, win, lose, or draw. I'm obviously coming in there to win and to lay it all out, but sometimes shit happens and it's just the way she goes. So, good Lord willing, it'll be one hell of either way, it will be one hell of a match. And I would say that, just keep staying healthy, and don't party too much on New Year's and shit like that. Eat as much as you need to at Christmas, but don't go going over now. We got a cap here.
Oh, there's a cap. You guys can't come in fluffy?
No, not coming in fluffy. So there was something in the rules about coming in fluffy. You got scolded, but I don't remember. I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was,
if you pop weight, you forfeit. If you win and you pop weight, you forfeit half of the
yes,
purse or
you
something.
had to split the pot. That's what it was. So it's like, hey, okay, fair enough. Which no, it should be all right. Looking forward to it. As I said again, hopefully this little brother, he shows up and remembers that it's Valentine's Day when we need to be there. So yeah. And shout out to Eugene, Sergey, and all the guys at Medicine Hats. Yeah, I mean, we'll train hard and see what comes of it, and let's fucking do this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, I think we got into the matches pretty good. We got into the Armbender. If you like what we're doing, please like and subscribe, and definitely tune in for that 2026 Montana Armbender. It will be a pay-per-view this year, so remember, you're going to want to buy your pay-per-view to watch, and we will catch you guys next time.